Hello and welcome to BA Brew. My name's Debbie.
I'm Fabricio.
And I'm Christina.
And today we're talking about a really interesting subject, and it's called the BA Mindset, which is something that I know Fabricio and Christina have been thinking about a lot recently, as have I. So Fabricio, can I come to you first? Why do we think about the BA mindset?
I believe, Debbie, that we do have a problem in the BA world, is that the BA world is very restricted to some community of professional business analysts, most part of them rolling in an IT area, talking about software development, and that's a very narrow community. And when I talk, at least me, but I think you as well, when I talk to people from other areas like psychology, medicine, or engineering, any other area, and I listen to what they are talking about, I see they are talking about business analysis. And I say, oh, that's business analysis, but they don't use that name for that. They use other names. They don't even realize that what they are talking about. And when I'm saying about understanding needs and looking for different alternatives to problems, they are talking about business analysis because they don't use that name. And they are not using the techniques that we developed and all this knowledge that we have developed in the business analysis area or field or discipline, or let's call it a mindset. So I believe a mindset, if we call business analysis a mindset, we could take it out of the IT area where it's known as business analysis and tell everyone, oh, that's a business analysis mindset. That's what we're talking about. And if everyone could understand or could call it business analysis, we would have a very bigger community to discuss our practices and to develop what we are doing.
There's a lot of food for thought there, Fabricio, I have to say. What do you think, Christina? Anything you'd like to add?
There's a lot in there, and I think I probably conflate the two issues of the BA mindset and the outlook and approach that I think BAs need to have. So for me, the BA mindset, at the heart of the BA mindset has to be curiosity. And I think that's something that we can use as a way of talking about business analysis with some of these wider stakeholder groups that might be interested in using our tools and techniques. And something that I've noticed and seen, and even a trap I've fallen into myself on occasion, is that BAs can sometimes be a little bit cynical, a little bit negative. And I think reframing the heart of business analysis as being curiosity helps to get over some of those hurdles of cynicism and negativity.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point, because it's quite funny. Like you, Fabricio, I quite often talk to people who work in all sorts of different disciplines, and I say to them, "You're a business analyst. Did you know that?" Because they're talking about things and they're using their thinking approaches, and as you said, thinking about alternatives and all that, exactly as a business analyst would. But I do think that somewhere along the way, recognizing that to my mind, it is about thinking. It's not about sitting in a box somewhere. That really could, really open up business analysis as, I don't know, something that could engage a lot of people.
And let me tell you a little bit more about the problem that I see. And I think we always fall in a trap when talking about business analysis. This trap is talking about business analysis as something that the business analyst does. So we are tying the discipline to the role or to the profession. And I think those are different aspects that we should call them different. It's like talking about physics and explaining physics, but why a physicist does, or talking about medicine, explaining medicine using the doctor as a role and say, oh, this is what the doctor does. No, medicine is something very wider than what the doctor does. And you have inside of medicine a lot of different professionals working in medicine. And as we do have in business analysis, I always hear people saying, oh, what's the difference about business analysis and other thing like system analysis or business architecture or something like that? And they say, oh, the business analyst does that and the business architecture does that other thing. No, I'm not talking about the roles. I'm talking about the disciplines. And when we talk about disciplines, they can be fused. If you think about physics and chemistry, they both exist at the same time and they are acting at the same time. It's not about what the chemistry guy does and what the physics guy does. They are disciplines. They are a way to see the world. They are, and maybe a mindset can help us in thinking about it. That's the way we think about stuff. That's what how we think. That's what I'm trying to bring here as a mindset.
I think that's such a useful metaphor and way of looking at it. And Debbie and I, we've talked before about, I'm so bored of the conversation, what does a BA do? And I think this is another really great way of moving forward from that conversation.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I really like that as well, because to my way of thinking, if you're an analyst, if you're an analytical thinker, then learning about business analysis as a discipline is a great thing to do, because, as you alluded to earlier, Fabricio, there's so many tools and techniques. And actually, if we look at it that only people who are business analysts get to learn those tools and techniques, that's madness. Because I remember talking to somebody years ago who was studying for a human resources qualification. And she asked me if I understood SWOT analysis. You can imagine, I said, come here and talk to me. Of course I understand it, and I love talking about it too. But it was really interesting because when we were having the conversation, a lot of the things she was looking at, actually, they were business analysis tools and techniques, but they were also tools and techniques used in HR. But they allowed you to think analytically. And to me, if we're talking about a BA mindset, I really want to bring forth this concept of analytical thinking, because I think that's what really underlies a lot of it.
Mm. And the point you made, Debbie, about you encounter people and you tell them you're doing business analysis. SWOT analysis is a bit of a unique one. It's one that has escaped the professional boundaries. You come across it in lots of different areas, but there's other tools in our toolkit which people aren't aware of, and they've kind of fashioned their own version from first principles. So I think the more that we can put some of our techniques in the path of other professionals and show them why they're useful and why they're useful as a thinking framework for us and for decision making, that's the way we can influence some of the professionals around us.
Mm.
Yes. And I see that we borrowed techniques from a lot of other disciplines, like SWOT analysis is an old technique that they are using in marketing. We have a lot of things from marketing. We have a lot of things from system thinking or system software development. Of course, we have a lot of from there, a lot of from management. And at some point, we started seeing ourselves as something. This is the mindset that we are talking about, as a way of thinking, as Christina said, that has some curiosities. As you said, Debbie, there's an analytical way. Our way of thinking is about thinking very well before taking decisions or recommending decisions for those who are going to take decisions. And we have to state a flag and say, oh, this is business analysis. And despite of the techniques, despite of what we are using, because there's a lot of techniques that we don't use yet because they are not invented yet, but we are going to use in the future. Those are techniques that help us think on that way we think. when we have to take decisions, when we start to analyze before taking those decisions. And this is business analysis, not the techniques, not the practice, not the activities, not the tasks. This way of thinking is business analysis, and we are going to develop it very more in the future. So business analysis practice are going to change to hold up or to enable this mindset. The mindset is what keep us together. And that's what I would like everyone in this community to understand. I feel that sometimes when we talk about, oh, let's use business analysis as a mindset that everyone could use, some people get afraid, like saying, oh, but we are going to lose our jobs because we're business analysis professional. And so if everyone can do business analysis, what will I do? And so I don't think people should be afraid of that. If more and more people recognize the business analysis mindset, they tend to get more value to the business analysis professional, because that's something valuable. And so we are going to be more recognized, not just in IT area, but in all other areas as experts in doing the business analysis mindset, because we have a lot of tools and practices, stuff that we can share and use for helping other people to have this mindset.
Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I agree. I mean, I really believe in professionalism. Okay, I believe that if you are trying to do a particular job or carry out a particular task, you should invest in yourself to understand the tools and the techniques and the frameworks that are really going to help make it work. Yeah, I know you both know that I'm very keen on service thinking. Okay, and one of the reasons, and that sort of ties into what I've just said, because one of the reasons for that is I'm a very outcome focused person. Okay, so it's that thing in business analysis. We say what problem are we trying to solve, and my brain then goes to, and what outcome do we want? Okay, and I think if you look at it that way, you naturally then link to a mindset that is analytical, that is the BA mindset. And you also then can think about, and how can I bridge from the problem to the outcome? What techniques and tools, and also maybe what colleagues and other people's expertise do I need to pull into this in order to get to that outcome? I think if we thought in that more outcome focused way, business analysis as a suite of skills and tools makes a lot of sense. And it also makes sense that some people are going to be very, very experienced and knowledgeable about it. And so you can start to see then how it is a mindset, but actually it's a mindset where you can be a professional, but it's also a mindset where you might work alongside those highly expert professionals, but you also need to be part of that mindset. So that's how I sort of look at it, because I do think an outcome focus is what takes it to the next level.
Something that reminded me of, Debbie, is I was reading something recently about a bias towards action within a lot of organizations. So organizations would almost rather be doing the wrong thing so that they can be seen to be doing something than take the time to figure out what is the right thing to do. How do we think that the BA mindset can survive in that world where there is a bias towards action?
Ooh, Christina, what a great question. What do you think, Fabricio? Have you got any thoughts on that?
Well, I believe trying to do the right thing is maybe what's the key point in the business analysis mindset. But let's not put our efforts or resources in doing the wrong thing. And when I think about a mindset, I'm not sure yet if the best way to define a mindset is a small sentence, but I like it, right? So I'm really thinking about that. And I would say that the business analysis mindset is something like, or the sentence that can summarize it would be something like, think well before you take a decision. right? Before taking decisions. So that would be the analytical thinking and the curiosity and trying to understand by different aspects, but that's the short sentence. Think well before taking decision. If we look to another mindset, that's a very nice mindset that could be able to left IT and go to other areas, we would say the Agile mindset. So everybody understands today that Agile is not a role, Agile is not a set of practice, Agile is a mindset. I used to summarize Agile as embrace change as an opportunity. That's what, for me, summarize the Agile mindset. Someone could have both mindsets, so think well and embrace change together. So they would have to take decisions in a faster way or smaller decisions than it would do if he doesn't have the Agile mindset. If I have a traditional mindset, I would think in everything before taking a huge decision, and so I would go my path away. I could have a business analysis mindset and not have an Agile mindset. Or I could have an Agile mindset and take really bad decisions without thinking about that. Just go very fast because that's what I need to do. I need to take actions very fast. So if I have both of them, I will take smaller decisions and I will think very well before doing that. So I believe that if we can understand what a mindset is or trying to define it, I'm not sure about those definitions, by the way, right? I'm just working on those. But when we think about the mindset, we can combine different mindsets. I could combine the mindset of business analysis with the mindset of project management, but that for me is plan what you have to do and do it, right? That's the project management mindset. And I would think well before planning. And so I can combine different mindsets, and that makes very good professionals in any professional. So if I am a plumber and I have a business analysis mindset, I could take better decisions because I would think well before doing that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I know I'm going to repeat myself here, but it does come back to outcomes. I mean,
Yes.
My focus on most things is, as you said earlier, Christina, what is the problem? Where do we want to get to? What do we need to do to do that? And also, as you mentioned earlier on, Fabricio, what are the options? Because to me, that mindset is also there are options. And where Agile comes in for me is I'm a very risk-averse person. So incremental delivery, I am your person, okay? I'm always going to go for incremental delivery if I can. And also that makes it more manageable, which brings a project management mindset in as well. And you can see how all of these things have to come together. But ultimately, where I distinguish a business analysis mindset with a focus on business is it's about achieving something that's beneficial and finding the pathways to do that. And I think you need a BA mindset to do that. That's my take on it. Anybody got any final thoughts before we wrap this discussion up?
Well, I just wanted to tell Fabricio, you're so good at distilling those different professional disciplines down that you should definitely put them on T-shirts or mugs.
Thank you.
You do.
Yes, I think this way of seeing business analysis as a mindset does not end with other ways of seeing business analysis. I just wanted to add that. You can see business analysis as a set of practice, as the PMIs see, or as a practice, as the IIBA see, or as a service. What I like it very much, and it helps us very much to professionalize business analysis. I think it's very useful to make it as not just as a profession, but as a professional service. And I think you did a great job on that. But I think we should talk to a wider audience and call business analysis as a mindset and helping them to see that this mindset can help them in their own professions. And we should bring those people to our community. We should have a a greater community. We should have the community of business analysis professionals. I think that's important, with certifications and with special learnings, but we also need to find out this wider community and show them, oh, this is business analysis, this is what we do, and we are so passionate about doing that. Come to join us.
Yes, I think that's lovely. Come to join us, because actually we can benefit the world if they do, in so many different ways. That's fabulous. Well, thank you both ever so much for joining this particular episode of the BA Brew. And if anybody out there listening or watching this podcast would like to send in any suggestions or be involved in the BA Brew, please email us at babrew@assistkd.com. Thanks very much.